In this video, we're going to learn a little bit about indirect instruction, aka it's not about you. So in this video, indirect instruction versus direct instruction, integrated instruction, and indirect instruction methods. So first, indirect is student-centered, inquiry-based. Teacher is the facilitator, so helping students to learn. Often, answers require support. This means that there are not any specific given answers, but that you need to find support for your answers, so evidence-based answers. And students are given tools to succeed. They're not given a worksheet to get to a specific conclusion. They're given tools that will help them to better understand the content. Direct instruction is teacher-centered, so the teacher is talking. It can include inquiry, but most often it does not include any sort of question asking or inquiry or digging into the content. Uh, Teacher as guardian of the knowledge, so the teacher knows everything and they release information only as it's needed. There is typically only one right answer. When you're doing direct instruction, you're trying to get the students to a specific point. And finally, students are given content to remember. They're not given tools, they're given content. So that's direct instruction, direct to the content. Now, caveat, be careful. Indirect does not mean good, and direct does not mean bad. There are really, really bad indirect lessons, and there are really, really good direct instruction lessons. You just kind of have to figure out which is which. Integrated instruction is this combination of direct and indirect. The book talks a lot about it. It seems a little silly to me, to be honest, because good teaching is always going to almost be integrated. It's going to be really hard to get a lesson that is completely direct instruction or completely student-centered indirect instruction. So some examples of indirect instruction. You could have a web quest where students are given a series of websites to visit to investigate an idea. You could have a historical inquiry through document analysis where you provide students with documents and a historical question to answer. A discovery of mathematical proof, so you've given them the logical steps to get to a specific proof, and then you ask them to figure it out and solve for the shortest path to the conclusion. Field testing a sports ball plan, so let's say you're teaching sports ball today in phys ed, and the students know the rules, they know some basic strategy, so they're going to come up with a plan as a group and then implement that on the field and do field testing of the sports ball plan. A location-based geology lesson where students are given knowledge about what types of rocks are native to the region and so on and so forth, and then they go out with mobile learning devices and take pictures of specific rocks and other features that are related to the region. And finally, scientific experimentation, where students are given a set of parameters and they're asked to discover how something works or how to accomplish a specific task. Very indirect. Indirect instruction is, first of all, student-driven. Students are in the driver's chair for this. We call that student agency a lot of times. It's teacher-supported, not teacher necessarily directed, teacher-supported. So the teacher is there to answer questions and help things move along. It's very goal and task oriented. So students are given an outcome that they're to achieve, and they're given time to do that. It's good for differentiation because it allows the teacher to give students who are struggling a little bit more care and attention than otherwise might be possible in a direct instruction activity, and it's performance driven. You're not necessarily concerned that students get the right answer in all situations, but you are concerned that they understand how the right answer can be found or achieved. So it's a lot about the process and the performance the students are doing. Indirect instruction is not, notice that's in big words, worksheet based. Worksheet is busy work. Worksheet is when you give your students a set of questions and they answer the questions and they're done with the assignment. Guided notes and instructional aids are totally different. They're not the end purpose of the assignment. Indirect instruction is not simple tasks. The student shouldn't be able to complete it in 2 minutes. If they can, something's wrong. It's not a free pass for a teacher. you're still going to be up and you're still going to be moving around. It can be easier to do as a teacher than direct instruction, but it's still a different kind of work. There's different things you're going to be doing. So instead of standing in front of a classroom and rambling for half an hour, um, it's going to be back and forth with the students. At the end of the day, the thing you need to remember about direct instruction is that if you worked harder than the students, you're probably doing it wrong. Um, that means that maybe your students aren't given the tools that they need. Maybe you're doing more direct instruction than you had thought. But you should be primarily focusing on answering the student's question and helping them move down the path. You shouldn't be doing all the work. Think about it this way. If somebody does all the work for you, how much do you learn? If I always change your tires for you, do you really know how to change your tires? So, that being said, students do most of the work during indirect instruction. Next up is a direct instruction video.